in all honesty, now, could this FH41 be the absolute best Ganzo Firebird knife of all time? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Hey, how you doing? If this is your first time here, my name is Jay, and click on that subscribe button if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. You should be looking at some specs right about now. These are measurements I had personally taken myself, but I'll also have them listed down in the description below, just in case if any of you want to follow along throughout this review. Let's quickly do a couple of size comparisons, and we'll start out with another Ganzo, the FH41. Now from Zero Tolerance, the ZT 0450. Let's do a couple Spydercos, and the Para 3, and the Sage 5. We'll finish up this section with a couple Benchmades and the 940, and lastly, the Bug Out. Now, if you're not crazy about the green that you see here, that's okay, because Ganzo does offer two other handle colors. You can get this in either black or that blue-gray. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely love just about everything aesthetically about this knife. I mean, starting with the traditional classic drop point, D2 steel, satin finish, almost a full flat grind, you can see, just that the one flat area, and a very large yet well executed sharpening choil. Now, the deployment action is, with that flipper tab, it's pretty good. It's not great because I am able to, fairly easily fail the deployment. So I guess in that regard, it could be a little bit better. And the detent is, now it is strong enough to hold the blade closed, so I'm unable to shake it open. The ball bearing pivot, now, it does make the blade kind of drop shut. It requires a bit of shake and bake, as you can see, and you can also do that thumbnail closure. Very easy to do with the 41. And the pivot screw, I did do some adjustments with that, and there was Loctite, going on the inside, but I was able to break it free. If you notice now here, the nested liner on my example it's locking up at about we'll say 35 to, what do you think, 40%. And if you look at the knife from this side, specifically at that liner lock, you can see it does actually, it sticks out far enough to make access to the lock very, very easy. Centering, oh yeah, that's perfect. The scales, they're very comfortable for a few reasons. I mean, all of the edges here, if you notice on the handle, they are all nicely rounded, chamfered, and if you kind of stare down the sights here, you can see that yes, we do have some contouring going on with the scales as well. There is a very large handle choil here, so in just that regular grip, it's good size, and I have no complaints with it. But if you take a closer look, do you see that? There's like I don't know what to call it, almost like a secondary choil going on right there for some reason, because all that really does is it just pushes your hand back farther away from the blade, because if you grip it this way, you can kind of feel that bump there. I mean, it's not uncomfortable, but the natural position for me is going to be backed off away from the blade just a little bit. And these green G10 scales, I know they do look smooth, but they're not slick. I would not consider it slick at all. And so it provides a decent enough traction. There's just going to be the two areas of jimping, one on the flipper tab, some nice jimping actually, and then just it's kind of a small patch here on the spine of the blade. You can see it is in fact a deep carry pocket clip, which seems to be the new standard for Ganzo Firebird. It's going to be just the tip up only for righties. Yeah, no lefty love today. And do you see the the mounting point of that clip, yeah, it's nice and recessed, so it takes away the possibility of this maybe snagging on your pants pocket. Blade stock thickness is right at about 3.45 millimeters thick, and let's see how well she cuts. Wow. Dang. Yeah, she cuts well. Before I toss this up on the scale, can I show you here? You can see I'm going to consider this, yeah, definitely open construction with just the very, very short backspacer. And if we check out the inside, yep, right there is some skeletonization going on in an effort to reduce the weight, and let's see how that helps. That helps a lot. 3.6 ounces, which is going to be roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 AA batteries, or, oh, look at that, almost the same as the Spyderco Para 3. Before we get to my potential deal breakers, I do have a question for you, and this is actually a question, I got the idea from a subscriber of mine, Ivan, so if you're watching, Ivan, thank you very much. My question for you is, if you could name this knife, because you know all Ganzo Firebird knives just have that number designation as the name, so if you could actually assign a name to this knife, what would you call it? Let me know down in the comments section below. I only have 3 potential deal breakers, and I'm sure you know what the first one is going to be, and yeah, the pocket clip, the fact that there's no lefty love for us. Potential deal breaker number 2 is regarding the pivot screw and the fact that this thing was glued shut with Loctite or something. It was left behind like a white colored residue. Last potential deal breaker is about this, well, this sharpening choil and the in-between size of it. I mean, it's a giant sharpening choil, but way too small as a finger choil. I really just wish that they would have committed to the forward choil, because then also for those of you with the larger hands, you know, it would make it possible for you to get a good, comfortable grip. For $29, it's a fantastic knife, but it's not without its limitations. I mean, Ganzo knives are fantastic value. They're great until you have to disassemble one, because just trying to perform the most basic maintenance can result in stripped screws, because the metal that they're using is very soft, and when they lock tight on the pivot. After reviewing this knife, I gotta tell you, I am very, very excited to see what Ganzo does next. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, and if you could leave a thumbs up, and don't forget, go ahead, click on subscribe for knife reviews that get right to the point. Hey, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Those of you still watching, first I want to say, well, thank you, and you're going to be rewarded, because I am going to give this FH41 away. Yeah, all you have to do in the comment section, if you just put, "Gimme that knife, Jay," I'll see that comment and I will know that you want to be entered in the drawing for this knife. I'll go ahead and I will draw the names on May 24th. So 5/24 on Friday is when we'll do it. And so subscribers only, please, and leave a comment saying, "Gimme that knife, Jay."